Hi everyone, it's Jane Waterson here from Delta Mash Change Management Training and Education, and I'm here to share with you some great answers to questions that have been coming up from some of my change management students in our mentoring sessions. So one of the great questions that recently came up, which I think, every change practitioner has been working through this at some point in their change career and it's still an ongoing journey, is comms rhythm. This is a great question that came up from one of my students recently. Okay, so comms rhythm. How do we know what to communicate when, what level of detail, to our impacted people? How do we freaking figure this out? Okay, couple of quick tips to help you figure this out a lot faster. Number one, definitely look at aligning this to your project schedule. Different types of projects require a different comms rhythm. If you are doing a relocation, moving from one big office building to another, you're going to be staging your comms slightly differently because people are going to be required to pack up at some point. They're going to be required to move to the new location, to then settle in, get the lay of the land in the new area, all that kind of stuff. You'll have comms staged around that. Versus something like an IT implementation. Let's say you're implementing Salesforce or Microsoft Teams at your organization. You're going to go through a whole design period, then there'll be UAT, then there's training, go live, then there's hypercare period. So these two different types of projects require a different type of comms rhythm because ultimately you need to stage and stagger the comms to suit your type of project, the timing of your project, and also to your stakeholders' needs as well. The second tip I'll give you here is, it's not like basically just to say you don't want to communicate too early. You also don't want to communicate too late. So, when we're starting that initial communication, it's generally from senior leadership, doing announcement, that kind of awareness comms, creating a bit of buy-in, building that desire, etc. But if we don't have something to say, let's just not communicate. It's okay to do that. We want to save that comms bandwidth. I like to think that our stakeholders only have a certain amount of comms bandwidth, right, to give us. So we want to ensure that if we're going to communicate, we're saying something valuable to them. At the same time, we need to remember it takes about 12 times for a message to get through, right? This is marketing stuff. But it doesn't mean we need to send 12 emails, right? So what are the different channels you can use? What suits your stakeholders more so than a different type of other stakeholder? And you need to bake that all into your comms plan. Looking at doing audience analysis, channel analysis, right? All this kind of stuff will help you build that out more robustly for your comms rhythm. So 3 things to consider there. So the first one is looking at your project, what type of project it is, what type of change, right? Remember, relocation versus IT project, very different type of comms rhythm. And then also looking at not communicating too early or too late, right? Really looking at what's right for your stakeholders at that point in time. What is the information they need to know when? And then bake that all into your plan, and that becomes your comms rhythm. So I hope that helps give you a couple of tips there. Look, if this is something you're interested in learning more about, really becoming that change comms SME, that guru, we dive really deep into comms and engagement approach in Change Manager Accelerator, where you learn all about doing really effective channel analysis, audience analysis, and learning the change journey timeline technique to really build out that comms rhythm for your project. So if you're interested, we cover that, but hopefully these tips will give you something to go on for now.